Currently, what's the biggest secret you are keeping from your spouse? For years, she's always talked about wanting to go to the massive Thanksgiving Day parade. Even as we started spending Thanksgiving each year in the Midwest with my extended family, she will wake up at 5 AM every year and watch all the preparations on TV and the entire parade. This year, she thinks we're going back to the family farm for the holidays, but in reality, I have flights and a hotel booked in Midtown Manhattan. I'm usually the one that handles travel details, and so I think I can get her onto the plane before she realizes the surprise. I'm busting at the seams trying to keep it a secret and not tell her. He doesn't know that I accidentally overheard part of his telehealth therapist appointment when I was changing one day. The office is next to our bedroom and he was talking unusually loud. Usually I can't hear him beyond muffled words I can't understand. Nothing bad was said about me, but I did not know the depths of his self-hatred until that moment. I have been going way out of my way to tell him every tiny little good thing he does now. I was pretty complimentary before, so hopefully he doesn't have suspicions, but now I have a laser focus on anything that I heard him say he hated about himself or was insecure about. My husband is ducking amazing and he deserves to feel that way about himself, too. For the last 12 years I've kept a secret book and have our kids draw and write notes to my wife every Mother's Day before she wakes up. It should be filled up in about 4 years, and we'll give it to her that Mother's Day. 16 years of memories going back to when they were babies and could barely hold a crayon to make some scribbles. My wife is not sentimental and never cries. This day we will make her weep. Last year, the resort we went to didn't have our room ready for our first night, so they put us in this spectacular upgraded room for one night only. We were a little mad at first because we booked the stay 6 months in advance and my wife likes to unpack everything once she gets in the room. Plus we have kids, so it's a lot. But we get to the room and we're absolutely amazed how gorgeous it was. High floor, amazing views of the water, huge etc. We loved it and the next morning went to our reserved room, which was still great, but it's like you buy a Mustang and they give you a Ferrari for 24 hours. Still love your Mustang, but anyway, we're going back this year and she doesn't know I booked that room for the whole stay. I've kept the secret for almost 6 months and nearly 6 more to go. She has a habit of taking phone calls from family members right when it's inconvenient for our routine because they'll last 4 hours. I come from a family that barely holds a phone call over 3 minutes. She took a call one night from her parents on the way home and stayed on the phone for so long it delayed our dinner plans. I was getting agitated and annoyed with how long she stayed on the call, but doing my best to compose myself because I had this strange thought, stop it, this could be the last conversation she ever has with them. No reason to think that other than my tendency to think catastrophically. He died of massive heart attack 4 days later. I still haven't told her what ran through my head that night 7 years later. That I know he lies about dumb shit that he doesn't need to lie about, has weird sexual interests, I think, and he talks to other women online under the guise of learning and education spirituality, but I saw a 6 tape one of them sent him a few months ago, not that I even needed to see that to know, but he really thinks he's so smart and he's not. I'm literally always 10 steps ahead of him. He also pays for it, which wouldn't be a big deal if he was already so fed up Mayo. He drives trucks and he's tried to pay for a prostitute out on the road before, and buy 6 tapes from PPL on Twitter. He's completely freaked out. He's watching me from across the room as I write this lol. What he doesn't know is that when I get more financially stable, I'm leaving his ass. Not my husband BTW, just longtime partner. I'm not sure if this answer really fits, but I always found this jarring with my ex. My ex was someone who was really good at dissociating and compartmentalizing, mostly because of his career in the military and law enforcement. Coping mechanism, I suppose. He wasn't keeping these things from me, but every now and then he'd come out with this traumatizing story and tell it with no emotion, Or maybe even laugh like it was a quirky memory. Meanwhile I'm just sitting there slack-jawed. Things like seeing a motorcyclist get decapitated, getting drugged, kidnapped and robbed in Turkey. Also, he couldn't remember his childhood and thought there was nothing wrong with that. I worked with this old guy at the company I work in. It was the second time I met the guy and he just casually started telling about the time his friend got beheaded while driving his snowmobile and how one work site he seen a huge concrete panel fall on a guy completely flattening him, blood splattered everywhere, and how he was actually at the Vegas concert where the guy started shooting people from the hotel window. He said he just covered his wife's eyes and grabbed her to follow him out. There was so many people that died just from being trampled. He got really detailed and I'm just standing there like, whoa, that's messed up, man. Like, how the hell do you respond to that? I just met you? My wife passed away when we were 29, but she never knew that I was the sperm donor for one of my best friend's kids. We didn't FCK. I was the literal sperm donor, spoot in a cup. My wife and my friend's husband, now ex-husband, thought it was an anonymous donor. There might be a medical document listing me as the donor, but he's not very bright. Their first 2 kids were biologically theirs. They wanted a third. He got testicular cancer, lost a nut, and ended up sterile. Sob abandoned them when the kid was 2 or 3 years old and weaseled out of paying child support for any of their kids. He stayed unemployed and lives at his parents' house until the youngest turned 18, so it's not like I cheated him financially. Their third kid doesn't look like me, but she's the only one of the 3 that wears glasses, is almost 6 tall. Her sisters are 5-6 inches or so, and, probably just a coincidence, is good at math. Her mother and I pinky swore no one would find out, but everyone is using 23andMe and Ancestry for DNA testing. I never will, but my sister is on 23andMe. Pretty awkward if she ever finds out she suddenly has a niece. When we were dating, my wife had 0 money and 2 kids. I had 2 kids also, but had a better paying job. Her Suburban kept breaking down and I'd pick it up for her and drop it off at the mechanic. She had to separate repairs that were pretty expensive. I lied and told her it was minor each time and paid for it myself and said it was only the battery or something like that. She also had parents of some of her students that would give her gift cards and things for the holidays. I sent her a loaded Visa gift card on it from an anonymous parent to the school with $400 on it. She kept smiling, going on about how great the parents were to her and how she can pay off her daughter's braces and give them a great Christmas. My boyfriend loves Magic the Gathering, especially the artwork. He has about 30,000 plus cards. I've slowly asked questions here and there to figure out his all-time favorite artist over the last year. Spoken with his friends about what kind of cards are his favorite. I've done so much research. It's his birthday soon, and I got him a card from his favorite artist with a 1-of-1 drawing, and they even wrote a little happy birthday card for him. The card has finally arrived and is being kept hidden at someone else's home. It's been a really hard year for us in many ways, but we've been powering through it. He also hates celebrating his birthday, but I like to make him feel special. I'm so excited to give it to him. That I don't want to be with them. I could have written this. Please don't be like me. I knew early that I made a mistake marrying my husband. I stuck around for a lot of reasons. Almost 20 years later, I am trapped and miserable. I didn't want to give up easily. I am a strong woman who could take these hardships. I am a smart woman, so there's no way I made this big of a mistake to be so wrong about him. I would smack my younger self for my pride and arrogance. Love is not enough. That what the duck am I doing feeling is your brain telling you that things are not right, and you are not safe in some way. It's okay to say I thought this is what I always wanted, but I was wrong. I'm scared that I'm missing out on life at this point. I started a business on the side. I am currently making $21,000 extra per month and I plan to pay off the house and buy us a new house within 5 years. I would be way more pissed off at the secret keeping than anything. A new side hustle is a big thing to hide and it would make me feel so incredibly disconnected realizing I didn't know about it for so many years. I would question if I can't be trusted, or not seen as important enough to be told about it, or think he wouldn't think I cared, which would make me feel awful. That I don't want to have another baby. We have a toddler and did plan to have one more in the near future. He knows I'm on the fence, and we have had several conversations about it. He will ultimately respect my decision and understands my point of view and has said so many times. I have been kicking the can down the road for about 6 months now, keeping up the appearance that I'm still on the fence. In reality, I know what I want. I just can't bring myself to say it out loud. He is an absolutely amazing husband and father. It's not his reaction that I'm worried about. I'm worried that he will tell me he's fine and then over time resentment will grow and drive a wedge between us. Not keeping, but back when the PS5 came out I somehow snagged one in a small window from Amazon. Then I lucked into getting one from a Sony Digital Direct, only a couple weeks later. The first was a disc model, what I wanted. The second was a digital only, what she wanted. So I wrapped the first and gave it to her for her birthday. And then Christmas Story-ed her with a second. I actually hid the box behind some furniture and asked her, "Hey, what's that other present over there?" She was surprised and amazed that I kept it a secret. I could have easily opened the first and still gave her the second. I'm terrible with secrets like that. She's still amazed that I surprised her with my proposal. She knew it would happen someday, but I did it all in secret and threw her off the scent a couple times. She expected me to find a ring and then buckle the next day. My ex had a big dig. My husband has a very nice sized big dick, but my ex's was, in fact, bigger. But ex had no idea how to use it and never was able to make me O. My husband makes me O every time. So I don't care one bit about the difference in big dig size. Completely irrelevant to me, and I would pick my husband's big dig every time. But I know it would bother my husband forever, and so I will take that to my grave, and if he ever asks me about it I will lie. He's never really had a massive fuss made over his birthday by anyone, just normal stuff. But it's his first milestone birthday this year that I've been with him for, 40 years old, so I've slowly been buying him presents and hiding them, and I'm giving him a birthday month where he opens up numbered presents, 40 presents for 40 years each day in the lead up to his birthday, and we'll have a party to celebrate with his family and friends. My only secret is being fully aware of how much he hates me. 20 years together with kids, decent jobs, a beautiful home, and generally everything we need. In all this time, for so many reasons, many faults of my own, I know she isn't as happy as she deserves. I feel the best thing to do would be a divorce, but I can't do it. I think she would be happy in the long run. She's laying next to me as I write this. My husband loves massages. He absolutely adores them, and I can tell he feels bad asking for them all the time. He uses the massager gums things and tennis gonads for his back if I'm doing something else, but he always says my hands are just so much better. It's our anniversary and I got a massage class for myself. I have been going once a week for a month and a half. He thinks it's a bead making class with my sister and keeps wanting to see what I'm making. I'm so excited to surprise him with all these great techniques I've learned. And my hands are so much stronger. My husband is not a very good cook, but also I know he sometimes likes to spoil me. So I make a big fuss about his efforts, and I always clean my plate. I've also been secretly teaching him to cook, by turning one night a week into a fun cook-together couples activity while sipping wine, or beer in his case, and listening to music, singing and dancing in between whatever is happening with dinner. My hope is we will continue our couples cooking night luring into our future, but also one day he will pick up some cooking skills without knowing it, and his loving efforts will be so tasty. My spouse is really down about their birthday next month, and grad school has been kicking their ass lately. All they know is we have theater tickets on their birthday. What they don't know is we have tickets to multiple shows throughout the month, plus a day trip to their favorite art museum, a manicure appointment, and reservations at their favorite restaurant. I also scored a pair of boots they've been wanting for months on a second-hand site. They're bummed the pair sold but don't know it's me who bought them.